Hey guys, Nick here from 4playernetwork.com.
And me, Brad.
And E3 is over. The show floor is closed.
Yeah, it is.
But before we talk about that, Brad and I both had a chance to check out Mad Max today.
Yes, we did.
Which is a game going into the show I think we were both a little worried about.
Well, we had just heard some things coming out of Judges Week saying that it was maybe a little mediocre. I don't know. Underwhelming.
A little
Especially
underwhelming
coming off of the movie, which was excellent.
Exactly. And I feel like that may have had an inverse impact on the reactions to the game here at the show. But what did you think of the game?
I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, I didn't really do much outside of drive around and shoot at some things.
I mean, they had two different demos you could play. We both ended up choosing the same one, which was the car combat focused demo.
Yeah.
So it was basically they start you off in an area, you fight a few dudes, and then you have an opportunity to loot this area and get some parts for your car. Mm-hmm. And then they kind of showed us how you go about customizing your car, which I didn't realize you can do anywhere.
Yeah.
I thought you had to go back to like a garage to do that, which you know, for convenience sake, I understand. But at the same time, I feel like it would have been a little more, it would have made a little more sense or been a little more immersive if you had to actually go to a garage to do that kind of stuff. Yeah. But after that, we got into a car and we had to chase down this convoy to try and destroy it and get its V8 engine for our car. And
which was cool.
It was cool.
I mean, I just shot my grenade launcher at it and it blew up and I won.
That's how it went?
Pretty much.
All right, did you have so you were having some problems with the controls, you couldn't invert it?
I couldn't invert the controls, so it kind of threw everything off, so I have a hard time kind of judging how the game felt. Driving, like, the car did seem a little squirrely, like I was oversteering, like, constantly.
I was oversteering a lot, too, and I feel like the problem that I had with the game, ultimately, was that the controls were a little bit, they weren't super intuitive. I mean, I think I'll end up getting used to the control scheme.
They were strange. You hold down, like, the left bumper to aim, and
that goes into like a bullet time mode. It slows everything down, which is nice.
And you press B to shoot.
Yeah, B to shoot was the weirdest thing. I kept wanting to pull triggers and all this stuff, and that wasn't working.
But you do that even when you're outside your car.
Really?
Yes.
I never fired a gun outside of my car, so...
Yeah, it's strange.
It's a very strange control scheme, and I have a feeling maybe that's part of the reason why some of the reception wasn't the greatest.
Well,
I don't know.
What I heard is that, and I did look at the map, and I kind of pulled out, and it's a big world, but it's just filled with icons, filled with things to loot and dudes to beat up and convoys to take down. It was just non-stop icons everywhere, very Ubisoft-ified, and it sounded like people were just kind of tired of that, especially, you know, we just played The Witcher, which is sort of the anti-Ubisoft game. Every single thing you encounter is meaningful, and I worry a little bit about maybe that in this game, but I'll say this. If they could do a really good job of making it seem like making it feel like you really need to upgrade your vehicle to survive. You really need to find fuel and water and all that stuff. They really capture an addictive metagame as far as like gathering these resources and struggling to survive. Then it's not going to matter if all that stuff you come across is meaningful or not, because you're just going to want it. You're going to need it. So if they can pull off that balance really well, then it can be pretty cool. Like if you upgrade your vehicle and you really feel like that much more powerful, that would be great. Wow.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
How much of the other weapons did you play with at all in the car combat?
Did
you use the hook? I forgot what they call it. The hook line or the?
No, you can like rip parts off of cars and stuff, right?
Yes, and you can strategically target particular parts of the cars, like their bumpers or their tires or their fuel tank. Which was really cool. It was actually quite easy to use because of that slow-mo effect when you go into aim.
Yeah.
And I was having a lot of fun with that. And you can also, like, you can do things like latch onto a car and then, like, do a 180 and then, like, do the boost in the opposite direction and, like, yank them around and, like, drag them into walls and stuff.
I did not do that, but that sounds really cool.
It is cool, and it's actually pretty intuitive. And the one thing that I will say is that what they've done with the control scheme, I feel like they've done a lot to make sure that no matter what you do, even if you fuck something up, something cool will happen. Because I was driving and there was a dude kind of driving up a hill to my right, and I pulled out my rocket launcher and I was aiming at him and I was waiting for the reticle to turn red or whatever, so I knew I could shoot at him. But I fired and I knew that I missed it because I I was way off,
Yeah.
totally off, totally obvious too. And I was like, fuck, I wasted a missile. But the thing still went, and it was a direct hit, and it exploded.
Yeah,
and I feel like that's kind of hand-holdy, and it's kind of disappointing, but at the same time, it was so satisfying, and I'm glad it happened.
Yeah, they want it to
So-
feel like a crazy action movie. Even when you're kind of driving all over the place and running into cars, even that feels satisfying, just bashing around into cars and
And
stuff.
I think the
which
game looks
I
pretty.
did a lot of. Yeah, it looks nice.
Looks pretty good. It needs some Furiosa.
Did you do any of the hand-to-hand combat?
I mean, at the beginning, where they start you off and you literally fight like 4 or 5 dudes.
Okay.
And that was very, that was kind of Batman-y, right? You're
Yeah, very
parrying and
Batman-y.
reacting, but
Yeah, yeah.
there's nothing special there.
Hit
really.
triangle to
I'm sure
counter.
it'll be fun, but nothing real special. The focus of this game is definitely all in the car combat, and that's
Yeah.
pretty damn fun.
I gotta say, coming out the same day as Metal Gear,
It's kind of fucked.
kind of fucked. I mean, it's a pretty obvious choice that day, but I think I'll definitely give this one a shot.
Me too.
When I find the time.
But we'll talk more about the demo tonight on our podcast. So if you want to know more, I would check out our day 4 podcast, our E3
boy.
day 4. We'll go into a little more detail about what we play. But anyways, thanks for watching. 4playernetwork.com. We'll see you later.
Goodbye.